Hi guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. In case you're new here, I'm Alina Ghost and I am a mum of a 2-year-old, and today I'm going to be talking all about solo parenting. So, what I mean by solo parenting is basically if you have a partner who leaves the house and you're looking after your baby on your own. There could be many reasons why your partner is leaving, so whether it's a work trip, like for example my husband is going away for a week to Sweden for work purposes, so whether it's conferences, whether it's going to his HQ, so headquarters, or any other reason basically for other people who do work trips on the regular. Other reasons of course could be things like if your partner's in the Navy for example, or in the army and is going away for a longer period of time. So in this case I'm going to be talking about my situation, and that is being on my own for a week only. I'm not looking at it as a long-term thing, so some people might have to solo parent for months, so luckily I've not had to do that. But I am very sure that these tips are going to be useful regardless, whether it's 1 week, whether it's months, years. I'm hopeful that these tips are going to be very useful to you. So if you have any other recommendations or you have any suggestions or questions, just comment down below and I'll be happy to get back to you. So let me quickly talk about our situation, how we are now. I am working full-time, so is my partner. We are in a schedule or like a routine where my baby boy, who is 2 years and 3 months, goes to nursery 3 times a week. So that's 9 till 3 p.m. And then he is with nanny and granddad on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So basically 2 days a week he is with nanny and granddad. We are working full time, we have busy lives, but at the same time we mostly work from home, so that is great. I'm in the office 2 to 3 days a week, so I'm also lucky that they are quite flexible as well. So if I'm having to work from home to support this solo parenting lifestyle, then I can do so, and I did so, which I'm very grateful for. Last but not least, I actually have a huge dog as well called Casper. He's actually right there just sleeping underneath, so if you hear funny noises, that is why. But basically he needs daily walks. He's a huge white German Shepherd, which means that we have to walk him daily, which also means that I need to be at home and I can't be in the office at any point that week, which I wasn't, so that I can actually be and spend time with the dog as well as take him out. The first thing that I did and I would recommend is just get a little bit more organised, especially when it comes to meals and food time. So I found that personally I guess hate is a very strong word, but I just don't like food shopping. So what that means, I've been online food shopping for many years now, since it's become a thing, and I wish that it was like a thing so much earlier. I wish I could do that at uni, but that's a whole other story. Basically I am doing online shopping, and that's exactly what I did for the solo parenting week, because it means that I was able to get the groceries and the items that I needed for cooking and having this plan of all the dinners that we're going to have, all the lunches, especially because I provide lunch for when Aiden goes to nursery, and because I'm working from home I had to make sure that I've got some food available in the fridge. So what I did is first make a list of dinners that I was going to have, and I've planned it out even with like the leftovers. What kind of things can I make like that are large, like in bulk I guess, for a couple of days, so that we have some leftovers to eat. I don't have to cook every day, but as I said, I just added it to our Tesco shop because that's where I shop, and it was so easy and I'm so happy that I did that. That's definitely one of the biggest things I'd recommend, because it just takes that weight off your shoulder. You don't have to be running around and thinking about food, especially for me who works full-time as well. So I'm working from home. I'm trying to make sure that we've got some food on the table, to actually have something in time and ready, so that he's not grouchy and unhappy by the time dinner comes. So just keeping like those plates spinning, let's say, making sure that it's all ready. And that is a big win for me, by getting all of those things done, rather than me needing to go to the grocery store and actually get those things. Because I don't know about you guys, but my toddler loves to just go his own way. So when it comes to like any kind of shops or even walking at the park, he just can't walk where I ask him to walk. He goes his own way. He's an Aries, so he's headstrong, he knows where he wants to go. So I can imagine that shopping, especially grocery shopping, would be an absolute nightmare. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is getting things ready the night before. So it works, personally it works for me. I don't like being stressed out in the mornings. So what I have to do, because we do cloth nappies, I usually give them the nappies and provide them with the nappies that they're going to use during the day, during nursery. So I add 2 cloth nappies in his bag. I give him a change of clothes. It's been so sunny. I also give him some sun lotion. We've got a hat in there, some pseudo cream and things like that. So basically that's on top of the lunch box as well. So I need to always take the dirty cloth nappies out. So I do that the night before, pop them into the washing machine, and then I replace them with some fresh ones to make sure that it's all ready to go for the morning. The reason I like to get that stuff ready the night before is, firstly, it doesn't have to be when Aiden is asleep. So when my son is asleep, I don't have to do it. I actually do it whilst Aiden is like in his downtime, so when he's watching TV, and it's just before we go upstairs and get ready for bed. So whilst he's watching TV, I'm getting those things ready, and it's super quick because I don't know if you've noticed, but I've got a YouTube channel for cloth nappies specifically, so you will see that I've got lots of stuff in there and that I'm a pro at it. So I've done that really quickly, and I remember that sometimes I would do the lunch before, and when I did, I just found it a lot easier in the mornings. But look guys, I'm not perfect, so there was one day that I had to do it in the morning, and actually it wasn't too bad in the end. I just added a few bits like an open sandwich, and it seemed perfectly fine as well. At the same time guys, work to your routine. I'm going on a tangent here, but like getting this stuff ready, if you find that actually you work better to do it in the morning, and you prefer it that way, then go ahead. Don't force yourself to be somebody that you're not. I prefer to be done the night before. I'm also a person who prefers to like wash my hair in the evenings and go for a shower in the evenings rather than the mornings. I'm not quite sure. Do I like the chill out? Do I like just being a little bit more stress free? I'm not sure, but just take it chill in the morning. But basically, yeah, try not to be somebody that you're not, and just get yourself organized in a way that you know that you can be organized. So talking about cloth nappies guys, I wanted to mention this because it's a big part of our lives at the moment. I basically tried to pre-wash as many as I could before Chris went on his work trip, so that I can pre-make them, and I've stuffed them, they're ready to go before like the week began, so that I've got as many ready as possible. I don't have to do too much during the week, but I did my usual routine of washing it every couple of days, and actually because it's been such hot weather, I found that they dried like super quickly, that I didn't actually have to maintain them too much at all, and I've still had those that I've pre-made earlier rather than actually needing to do new cloth nappies straight away. I think it took about half a week to actually start getting some other ones ready, and only because I've been providing them for the nursery, and then I had to give some more to nanny and granddad and things like that. But the other thing is the fact that we have been using the cloth nappies a little bit in a different way, perhaps a little bit less than usual, because we are currently potty training. I am encouraging him a lot more to go onto the potty, and we have free nappy time, so it means that we are going through less cloth nappies at home as well. So that does mean that we've naturally used less anyway, so that's definitely worked in our favour. But don't worry guys, I'll be doing a video on potty training very soon, so do subscribe that if you are interested. So the fact that I'm working from home, I was able to do all of that and continue our routine, because usually I would ask my partner, so Chris, to wash the nappies whilst I'm in an office day and the nappies needed washing. So the fact that he'd put them up for me is great, but the fact that I was working from home, I was able to do that and continue the cloth nappy routine as well. So the next tip is something that I've mentioned time and time again, and that is routine. Making sure that you have a routine helps your baby or your children to understand what needs to be done when. So the fact that waking up at the same time, going to bed, and like having a bed routine is very important, not only for you but also for your child. It's also giving you sanity. So not only is it making sure that the baby knows what is going to happen very soon and that they are basically expecting something to come along, or like waking up at a certain time, it means that they are more likely to have a nap at a certain time, and then they're therefore going to go to bed at a certain time and give you some free time to actually do some stuff. Whether it's having a wash or a shower, or whether it's just having some downtime and parenting time, which is very, very important. You need to take some time for yourself to be sane, to continue to be the great parent that you are. You need to watch TV, you need to have a glass of wine, you need to do anything or something that means something to you, that means that you can relax, that you can have some of your time. But at the same time, if that doesn't happen every day, it's just natural. Make sure that you get your sleep. I would recommend prioritizing sleep over anything else in particular, so over TV, for example, over any beauty treatments and things like that, like doing your nails, for example. But I do think they're important. I just feel like sleep definitely needs to prioritize your time, but having that routine of sleeping is super duper important, so that's definitely something I'd recommend. Before I move on around that whole routine side of things, I wanted to mention the fact that I prefer to have a clean kitchen for the mornings for when I get down, but at the same time I'm not very good in the evenings. I'm not good at basically doing anything whilst I'm tired, and basically I prefer to clean as I go, to make sure that I tidy as I go, and I try as hard as I can to get my child involved in the cleaning up process and say, come on, you can help me pick this thing up, we're going to put it back in its box, or come on, let's get a piece of cloth and actually tidy this up, or like get rid of this pillage that you made. But basically when it comes to the kitchen, once again, I use, whilst like Aiden is watching TV, I would wash up quickly or put stuff in the dishwasher and load that up to make sure that it's all ready and nice to go for the mornings. The other routine is the fact that I've got a huge dog, as I've mentioned, so not only do I have to look after my child and take him on the school runs or to nanny and granddad, I also need to make sure that the dog gets one walk a day at least. Usually they're like half an hour to an hour long, it depends on the weather. Recently it's been so hot that we've been going in the mornings, and we've been taking it quite easy because it's already really hot at about 8 AM. So before we go to school, sometimes we go to the park together, both with my baby boy and my dog. But at the same time, it's a bit of a routine that we've made. So before we go to school or nursery, I say, let's grab the football, let's go to the park, so that it's already known to both boys, so my son and my dog, that we are going on this usual thing that we've done and will be doing, and that's to go to the park. Anyway, all of that stuff around the routine, super important. But I just wanted to add the fact that not every day is going to be the same, that some things will fall through, and that some days you will feel like you can't do something that you would usually do, whether you're just not feeling up to it, you're tired from the night before, or I don't know, you're moody for some reason. Look, we're women, right? Look, it happens. So basically what I'm trying to say, and trying to be serious about this, is the fact that You don't need to try and fit to that particular routine if it's not working for you, especially for that one day. If it's one day, just write it off. It happens. Don't be strict on yourself. So basically, that's a tip of my biggest tip. So have a routine, but don't be too strict with yourself. And if it falls through, don't beat yourself up about it. Let's pick up the next day and let's make sure we do the best that we can. So this next tip I actually really like, and I think it's quite unique because I've not actually seen in my research too many people mention this, if anybody at all, but I definitely think that it's very important to do activities or do things together that you actually enjoy as well. So not everybody fits into a parent so easily. So getting used to the parenting lifestyle can be quite difficult, but it's so much easier when you actually do fun things and things that you enjoy to do together. So my next tip is the fact that you should create activities together to enjoy together. So I know that there's some people who recommend actually going out of the house, but we already do that. So I have to do that because I have a big dog, so we're walking him once a day anyway. So that's our routine in the sense that we know once a day we're definitely going to leave this house, whether it's a nursery day, whether it's a nanny and granddad day, or whether it's the weekend, we're having to walk the dog, or at least I am. So the fact that I'm getting out and about of the house actually helps me. I love walking because it helps me reset. I love going into the woods, I love going to the park, and basically it helps me just calm down. Very stress-free, great time, and I definitely do recommend it. But because I already do that, I also want to and recommend that you guys do something fun together. I very much like making things with my hands, so Play-Doh or plasticine is just so much fun for us, especially for me. I like to create things, mold things, create little figurines and things like that, and actually teach Aiden how to do that too. We're loving drawing, we're loving using bricks and creating towers, although Aiden much prefers to like kick them down, he's such a boy. But basically do things that you think are fun together. And another activity example is where I bought some sand because it's been so sunny and hot. Basically we got some water as well, and we started moulding and creating like sand castles in the garden whilst it's so nice and sunny and warm. But basically what I'm saying, so for example, my sister would make sure that they go out and have activities every weekend to do something fun, whether it's like picking strawberries or a farm that they can go to. Like she very much likes and enjoys going out and doing activities. Whereas in this case, I also recommend small activities as well, where you can do those together. So a simple one would be to watch a Disney movie at home together because you're both going to enjoy it. So the reason I think it's really important is because you want to enjoy your time with your child as well, whether or not your partner is there. Your child is your child, and you want to enjoy spending that time together and just do something fun. And ultimately, although you're looking after your child, it doesn't mean that you need to forget yourself. You need to enjoy your life and living with your child as well. So I definitely do think this one is super duper important. So other things before we move on is quickly something that I did without my child and without my partner, and that's watch the second season of Bridgerton. And that was fantastic. I definitely do recommend it. So keep something that you can look forward to basically whilst you're solo parenting. I definitely found that actually treating myself to an episode of Bridgerton every day definitely picked up my mood and made me excited for that particular time of day. Last but not least, guys, and I've mentioned this one briefly already, that is be kind to yourself. Make sure that you ask for help when you need help and support. So I'm very, very lucky that I have family about 5 minutes away from me. So nanny and granddad, where I did ask, so Chris's parents, to look after Aiden after nursery, for example. So at extra times when I needed to, whether I had meetings for work or whether for any other reason. So sometimes you need an hour or two to yourself, right? So why not ask your family and friends to help out for a short period of time? Like, there's no reason why you can't ask for help. Also, talking to someone also always helps. Make sure that you're communicating to your friends, that you're messaging, that you're calling family and friends, and you're making sure that you're talking about the things, how you're feeling as well. Especially as your partner's not there, you need to make sure that you've got somebody to talk to. Quick example, and that's when baby is sleeping, take 5-10 minutes to yourself before you start tidying up the house. Maybe take a nap yourself. Just think about your own mental health, your own physical health, because you need to be the good parent that you are, and the only way that you're going to be that is if you are happy in yourself. And to do that, you have to look after yourself as well as looking after your child. So don't forget about yourself, don't be too harsh on yourself. So have a think about how you're thinking about yourself as well in your mind. So you're asking for help when you need it, you're socializing and making sure that you're talking to people, you have that support bubble, you're taking some time for yourself. Of course, you need to make sure that you're thinking in the right way and keeping yourself positive and motivated and happy, and are doing things that are just for you. And last but not least, it's okay. It's okay to be messy. It's okay to be out of the routine. It's okay not to have done something the night before. We're all human, so don't be too harsh on yourself. So I'd say probably those things are my top tips, and definitely the ones that I stick by and recommend and live by to keep sane. Parenting is not easy, but ultimately even solo parenting isn't easy. It's completely different to single parenting, don't get me wrong, but I hope that these tips definitely help you guys out. The challenges that I found during my solo parenting week, probably the fact that I have had to stay at home a lot more, so I was working from home all week. I am quite chatty and quite social, and although I'm just an introvert, I do love people, so actually being in the office means quite a lot to me. So not being in the office, I did feel a little bit like I was like a little bit lonely at times, especially as usually when I do work from home, my partner would be here as well, so Chris would be around to chat and to have a laugh. But as he wasn't around, I was working from home alone for so many days. I say so many, 5 days. But it was still quite a bit, so I think I've personally found that bit challenging of solo parenting. And I guess the other thing is the fact that literally there was no time for break, so I would be running from like walking the dog together, I'd then take Aiden and to nursery, I'd then run back to have my meeting for work. I'd do work and up until like 5:30, and then once it's 5:30 bash, I need to make sure that like Aiden's at home and around, so whether it's like at nanny's and I have to pick him up from nanny's, or whether I have to pick him up from nursery, run him back home. Yeah, it's been full on, obviously, and the time that I was able to spend on my own, I found that I was able to do so, and actually was great for me and motivating. As I said, I watched like Bridgerton. It very much helped me reset and give me some of that like downtime. So I do recommend that you take some time for yourself as well. The bits that I very much enjoyed though was the fact that Aiden has been mummy, mummy, mummy. So I do find that the more time I spend with him, firstly his Russian gets so much better. So the fact that I am the sole giver of that language, because we're bilingual, and I teach him both Russian and English at home, but I personally try to speak to him only in Russian if I can help it. And I do find his Russian is a lot better, but I also find that he's a lot closer to me afterwards, and he's like, mummy this, mummy that, so that's very sweet and very nice. But at the same time, it's also a lot of pressure. Even when my partner comes back, Aiden is all about mummy, 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 when I'm like, well, you can go to daddy now and he can help you. So there's definitely pros and cons in solo parenting, and hopefully this little chat helps you guys out in perhaps preparing for a solo parenting time of your life. So if you have any questions or you would like to chat, feel free to comment down below or find me on social media. I'll be happy to give guidance if I can do, and to just have a chat if you had any comments. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and until next time.